right. End of week 2, just pulling out. Work, hopefully my camera rig is set up and I don't crash. Probably underexposed. That's because I'm a horrible filmmaker. Thank God for cruise control, am I right? Week 2's done, not fully done, but it's Friday. It's definitely a challenge, which is what I wanted to do, is challenge myself. So yeah, it's been more challenging than I anticipated, and that's okay. But glad I'm about halfway through it. It's been good so far. I think I'm starting to come out of my my slump of, my body's, it's getting used to doing everything that I'm doing and not doing. I've adapted to that green tea life, which is good, I think. I'm enjoying the green tea life. I definitely am starting to have a bit more sustained energy and not have wild crashes or big highs, I'm starting to get a taste of perhaps what it would be like to live without caffeine. I'm sure a month off coffee wouldn't really give you the full experience. I'm sure it'd take you, 3 months or so to kind of really understand what life would be like on the other side. But hopefully a month gives me a pretty good taste, and 2 weeks in, I'm thinking it will. It's definitely been a challenge quitting coffee. I'm glad I have caffeine. I'm obviously not completely caffeine free. Might do a challenge where I do go completely caffeine free, but based on my experience so far, that probably won't be for a while. The worst part so far is, seriously, I'm just so hungry in the mornings. And when I was drinking coffee, it was much easier to wait until I was ready to eat, until my break, until I could actually eat and break that fast. I start eating about 10:30 and then eat my next meal around 2. So that's that 4 hours kind of thing. But as soon as it gets to even 8, 9, I'm like, yep, ready for food now. So I don't really have an issue with the actual 4-hour eating window. That's been relatively easy, actually. I have done it a handful of times prior to this, and I'd be interested to actually give 1 meal a day. Actually 1 meal a day. Can't find them, grind them, Eamon? Just saw your life out, mate. I'd be keen to give it a proper crack, I think, doing the one meal a day. But just at the amount of calories I'm eating right now, I'm on about 2,600 calories. That's just above maintenance because I'm doing quite a bit of exercise. And yeah, that 2,600 in one go just knocks you out. So might give that a crack in a future challenge, but for now, the 1 meal a day thing's been pretty easy, which is good. So yeah, caffeine, not so good. Looking forward to that, chilling out a bit. The headaches have almost totally subsided. Had a little bit of a headache this morning. That leads me into exercise, and the exercise, it's been pretty good. I'm still kind of waking up relatively tired. There was a bit of a cold kind of snap here in Brisbane, which cold snap, if you live anywhere else in the world, I guarantee you it's not cold, and I'm sorry for saying that. But for us, it has been relatively cold, and so maybe that's made it a little bit harder to get out of bed in the morning, or maybe I need a bit more sleep because of that. I don't quite know, but I have been exercising, every day, as I said, doing cardio and walks during the day, and gym, just hitting 1 or 2 body parts at night, basically until absolute failure, and enjoying it. There's been 1 or 2 nights where I'm like, oh my God, I just don't want to do it tonight. But overall, the exercise thing, I was in a relatively good routine prior to this whole worldwide thing that's going on right now. So I was in a pretty solid exercise routine, but I was probably only exercising 3 to 5 times a week with some light cardio here and there. But now I'm kind of going as hard as I can every day. And yeah, I'm very sore. Hopefully my body will adapt to that, and I won't wake up so sore and a little foggy in the mornings. Obviously, more so foggy because I'm not having caffeine and whatnot. But pretty much after my exercise, do a little bit of work at nighttime, and then begin to relax. And when I go to bed, that's when I do my meditation. At the moment, the last kind of 2 weeks, I've had a couple of morning meditation sessions, but it just seems to work best with my schedule to do it at nighttime, right before I go to bed. It's been a while since I've actually consistently done this meditation, this guided meditation. It's really good to solidify kind of everyday who I want to be in the future, because, you kind of emotionally get in that state and you kind of prepare for being that person in the future. So you're kind of like emotionally becoming that person before you even become that person. It's an interesting meditation. I might even do a video on that in particular, because you kind of manifest your future, and it's actually happened to me a few times. So it's great. So aside from that, I'm still doing the other kind of 10-15 minutes of meditation a day, and as usual, struggling with that, have a lot of thoughts that pop up. You just latch onto those thoughts, and then sometimes those many tangents go for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and then you realize you're thinking and you're back to square one. And that's the point, that's the whole point of meditation. It's just, as often as you can, become aware of the thoughts when they become thoughts. Previously I've been in states where I can meditate for 10 minutes and it feels like nothing, because I barely have any crazy intrusive thoughts. Yeah, I'm having quite a high frequency of thoughts. So that might just be kind of the moods that I'm in the last few weeks. Maybe it's because I'm foggy, because I know caffeine, I don't know, but it's definitely showing me that I need to do it more, which is only a good thing, right? It's a bad thing because it takes up all my time, but it's a good thing because, we really all should be doing more meditation, and we have no excuse, because the busier you are, the more meditation you need to do, really. So low dopamine. The biggest thing that this is showing me is that as soon as I wake up and right before I go to bed, I would be on my phone before this. But now, I'm only allowed to listen to podcasts in the morning. That's after I've kind of gotten up. Hold on again. Will round the roundabout. It's not a roundabout, but you would fall without me. You guys would fall without me right now. So, I'm supporting you. So really, if you're a good friend, you would support me back and just subscribe. Like, it's just that simple. Like, this is how friends operate, and we're friends. So just click the red button. Seriously. The biggest thing, it's showing me that pretty much as soon as I would wake up, I would be on my phone and doing something on my phone. And right before going to bed, I would be on my phone, doing something on my phone. And even if it's like, playing words with friends or something, which obviously is a dopamine activity, it's just great to see what my habits were like. And waking up and not immediately looking at my phone, well, it shows the position that I'm sure a lot of people are in. And you're just kind of a slave, really. When you wake up and you're immediately looking at like social media, Instagram, whatever it is, you're just giving away your morning time, which is potentially your most important time of the day, and you're just giving it to somebody else. Anyway, it's just interesting to notice kind of how I'm going about it without doing that. And I think that's really valuable. And I really hope that I take this habit out of this challenge. Just good to see what life is like on the other side of that. And yeah, that's it. Really hope I continue that. But that being said, still the music thing sucks. Like right now, I'd be like vibing out to music, but I'm not, because I can't. So that's okay. This is not even any music festivals or gigs that I can go to. So I'll just continue with the low dopamine thing. It's been the hardest one so far for surezies. So no alcohol. Again, this one's been pretty easy because, I only had an opportunity just before where alcohol was presented to me so far, and said no. And obviously there's a little bit of like, why don't you just have a bevy, dude? But especially in Australian culture, it's this weird, I don't want to use the word toxic, but it's just odd to see how people react when you say no to alcohol. But yeah, so no alcohol's been pretty easy so far, which is good. Haven't really had any opportunities to drink, and that's the easiest one to just say no to. So journaling, yeah, that one's been pretty easy. Just running a page a day. My notebook isn't that big, as I'm sure you've probably seen, so it doesn't take very long to kind of write a page in that. But it's good to just get all these daily thoughts out, and I'm finding myself potentially being less kind of attached to each of those thoughts on the day-to-day basis. I might even repeat most of this kind of progress and thoughts on this, because a week goes by every time I do a review. But anyway, liking the diary, definitely see the benefits of it. Really good self-awareness, self-development tool. Really hope I take this out of this whole challenge as well. We will see about that. But yeah, that's my update for week 2. It might seem like my energy is relatively high right now, but that's just because it's Friday night. I'm vibing, going over to a friend's house. Energy levels have been relatively low for the first at least week and a half, and they're kind of slowly starting to become normal again. Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, I'll say that. It's been good though. It's like when you're not really challenging yourself in life, like what are you doing, you know? So I didn't really have like an active challenge prior to this. And hey bud, yeah, just trying to shoot a video. How about a little bit of respect up in here, okay? Silent cars on the road after 6 p.m. Everyone knows that. Can you believe this guy? I'm looking forward to more results, looking forward to having a bit more normal, sustained energy. And hopefully this week, yeah, kind of evens out and I start to see more consistent results, because it's been a bit all over the place for the last kind of 2 weeks. So I'll shut up now, and I'll see you guys next week.